Hello folks, I'm Jeff and I want to welcome you to part 1 of our 4-part Undercover America series. Today we're here with a very special guest to talk about their undercover investigation. Sir, can you tell us your name?
Yeah, well, folks just call me Bubba.
What about a last name?
No, you don't need no last name. I ain't giving out my last name because, last time I did that when we was undercover, folks tried to do that doxing to me, they steal your identity and stuff. They tell everybody who you is and be trying to run up my credit cards or, I don't know, electronically steal my wallet or something. I just rather folks don't know my last name.
Well, aren't you concerned the public can see your face?
Well, I understand they can see my face, but you can't steal my face, and who'd want to steal my face anyway? The thing is that I don't want them to steal my identity, so let's just leave it at Bubba, all right? Okay, as long as we got an understanding, we're good. Okay, let's get on with the questions then.
Okay, let's get on with that. How about we start with you telling us what motivated you to conduct this investigation?
Yeah, well, we've all heard of that Project Veritatis. I think that's with 2 S's. Anyway, we was inspired by them, the way they was going undercover and getting inside of organizations that maybe wasn't doing the right thing and showing America the truth about some of the dark things that are going on in our country today. And us being patriotic Americans, we thought we wanted to do something like what they was doing. And we heard about the cults. That they had these cults that was operating on the internets, and we heard they was using the YouTubes to recruit people and brainwash them and get them to do stuff, and so we decided that we'd like to infiltrate one of those organizations and find out the truth and share it with America so they know that what's going on. And so yeah, that's pretty much what inspired us is we just trying to do something good for America.
That is very American. Can you tell us your investigative process and how you were able to infiltrate these organizations?
Well, it's a big story. I mean, how we infiltrated the cults. I mean, we put our lives in danger and went undercover. And it's a big process. We didn't just wander on in there off the street. We had to think it out and come up with a plan. So basically, I'll walk you through it, but it's a big process. So we started out, first thing we had to do is we had to do a lot of analysis. I mean, we spent thousands of man hours watching and trying to understand the networks of how they work together behind the scenes and what's going on. So we started out, with the idea that we was going to infiltrate these cults and find out, how they was doing it, what they was doing, and what they was doing to the American people, so that we could share it with America. And so the first thing we did was we got into the internets and we navigated through the interwebs and got into the YouTubes. And once we got into the YouTubes, we started specifically looking at these Homestead type channels and trying to figure out their organizational networks and how they was working together with each other. And what they was actually doing, the brainwashing, the voodoos, the recruiting, how they get the people into their organization, and then what they're doing with them once they take control. And so once we got into the YouTubes, we had to spend thousands, I mean thousands of man hours watching all these different channels and everything. They call them channels, and on these channels they work to provide the contents. So if you think of like a book, where at the beginning of a book you got the table of contents, well, these people on the YouTubes, they create these contents, and then you can go to their channel and it's got like a table that you can see all their different videos and everything. So that's the contents. So man, there's a lot of contents out there, and we had to spend thousands, I'm talking thousands of man hours to go through each and every one of these and to look and start to build the networks to see, you know, how they're doing it. And I'll give you an example. So what we discovered is that these seem to be divided into regions. So for example, out here in Texas, they got what I would call the Texas and Oklahoma regions. And they're kind of joined, they work together. And then the next region over, the Arkansas region, there's a lot of them fellas up there in Arkansas. Same thing in some of the Oklahomas. They're really working together and recruiting like crazy. But we didn't want to do all of our work on the Texas and Oklahoma regions, because that's where we was going to infiltrate. And so what we wanted to do is we wanted to start our analysis working on the Arkansas regions, so that we could not make mistakes. If we figured if we made the wrong mistakes and got uncovered within the Texas and Oklahoma's regions, then that might mess up our ability to infiltrate them and get on the inside and get down to the truth. So we started looking at the contents of the Arkansas folks, and you know, up there around maybe Boonville area, they seem to have some kind of headquarters. We know they's around the Mount Magazine and the Boonville areas, and we saw how they was communicating and working together and bringing in some of the ringleaders within the organization from other regions as well. So that really told us that we was on to something. And you know, I mean, everything they do, it's just bringing you in. I mean, you start watching their contents, and they're just sucking you in, man, and they're controlling you, and you start watching and you see what I'm talking about. So I'll give you some examples. Well, they got this naming, you know, they all got names, right? And so we was trying to analyze and figure out, well, do these names mean something? Do they help with the recruitment, the brainwashing, the voodoos? How do they do this, you know? So we noticed that there was a concentration of a few of them kind of working together. And we saw this one outfit, they was calling themselves Simple Life Reclaimed. So they're trying to convince you that, you know, if you follow them, if you join their cult, that you could somehow reclaim the simple life and get back to, you know, maybe how things was, whatever. It's part of that. It's working on your mind, and it's bringing you into the brainwashing. And then they got this other channel that they call themselves the Country Road Cure. The Cure? So now if you join them, whatever ails you, it's the cure. So, I mean, we're talking snake salesman kind of stuff here. And you can see how just in the names that they suck you in, you know. You can reclaim the simple life. You can be cured of whatever ails you. And then they got this other one, and he's always saying, come on and join up our cult. Come on, hang out with us. Come on, give us your mind, give us your money. We're going to do the brainwashing thing. He even says, come on so much, he'll be like, come on with the come on. Just whatever, come on. And then he's even got a technique where he got this beautiful girl and he brought her in. And I mean, I don't know if this is her real name or not. I suspect it might just be part of the lure to bring in, but they call her Margarita. Now, that's specifically targeted against Texans, because everybody knows in Texas, man, we love our margaritas. I tell you what, we love margaritas so much in Texas that my kids was raised on margaritas. I mean, we used to fill them baby bottles up with the margaritas and then dip that nipple in the salt. And sometimes we'd go a little extra and, you know, put a little splash of lime on that nipple. And they'd be having salt and lime margaritas and just loving it up. I mean, come on. Oh man, they even got me saying it. I mean, that's how we raise up good Texans. So, you know, when you saying, come on with the come on, and come on this, come on that, come on mountain, I mean, that's recruitment. And when you bring in a beautiful girl and you say her name is Margarita, you are specifically targeting the Texans. So you can see from just this little example of how these regions, like the Texas and the Oklahomans, and now you got them folks up there in Arkansas, how they're working together and bringing in people from all the states. Not, you know, they ain't just working their own region. So they reaching out and they're bleeding over and they're all recruiting. I mean, this other fella at the Country Road Cure, or the CRC, I mean, that's like C, I don't know how to make R, but C, you know, they probably got some like gang signs and symbols and stuff to go with that, with the CRC thing, or the Simple Life Reclaim doing the SLR, whatever. I don't know how they do their gang signs, because I ain't into that level of secrecy yet. I ain't infiltrated all that. So, but they got it. So this fella over there at the CRCs, I mean, that fella, he's powerful. He got some powerful medicine. I think he's doing that voodoos. Because, number one, come on, I'm a Texan. And I'll tell you right now, there ain't no such thing as no chicken whisperer. Now, we heard of horse whisperers, but there ain't no such thing as no chicken. Man, chickens got little itty bitty brains. They do what they want. But this fella, if there was such a thing as a chicken whisperer, he's the chicken whisperer. Because, I mean, I'm telling you, you watch them videos. Well, I don't want you to watch them because you start watching them videos and they'll take your mind. They'll bring you in. You gotta be careful. So I'm telling you, if you watch them videos, you fight it. Don't let them take your mind. Don't let them bring you into the cult. Just watch the videos and see what I'm talking about, because the evidence is out there. So he's the chicken whisperer, because when he opens up that gate into the chicken yard with this chicken coop that he built, he calls it the Clucker Dome. Now right there, Clucker Dome, that's some kind of apocalyptic stuff there, because I seen them movies. Anyway, so I was telling you, he opens the gate and he walks in there, and immediately, man, all them chickens, they comes a running. And they jump up on his shoulders and stuff, worshiping him like he's some kind of chicken god or something. Now, come on. I've been around chickens all my life. And ain't nobody no chicken whisperer like that. He got some medicine, strong medicine. He got some powers there. And he got them chickens under control. I mean, dang. I ain't even ever seen nobody try to herd cats like that. And you can, excuse me, you can probably herd cats easier than you can herd chickens. But he could herd them chickens. I mean, they follow him, they jump up on his shoulder, and they just in love with him. But let me tell you something. There was this one time that one of them chickens somehow broke the spell of the voodoo mind control. And that chicken was climbed up on his shoulder almost like we was infiltrating and got on the inside. Well, that chicken got up on that shoulder and he wasn't under the mind control. And so she, bam! I mean, she just got him. Tried to peck his eye right out, rip his eyeball right out of his head. It's the damnedest thing you ever seen. So I'm telling you, man, that chicken tried to pull one of them military coups in the coop, if you know what I mean. So I'm telling you, that fella got some strong medicine there. But that's a good example of how they do that voodoos. And it just sucks you in. And once you start watching, man, it's like a drug. You can't get off it. You just watch it and you like, I gotta see more. And you just keep watching. And then what they do, once they get you hooked on their voodoo drug or whatever the mind control is they're doing, well then they leave you hanging. And so just like, when they get you on that heroines and then they use it to control you and they don't give it to you again, so then you start having them withdrawals and everything and you need more. That's what they're doing with the contents. They give you some, they get you hooked, addicted even. They get control of your mind. And then they just trickle it out. They don't give you as much as you want. They don't put it out there like several times a day or whatever. They just trickle it out there. And then they start doing these things called live streaming where they talk to you and everything to, again, work. It's that brainwashing. So they bring you in, and they be doing the woo, the voodoo, your eyes go all googly and everything, and you're like, whoa, yeah, and you like the CRC, woo, the SLR, woo, come on, yeah. So that's how they doing it up there in Arkansas, and man, Oh, sorry, I got kind of sidetracked there. You can see how that works on you, and it just brought me all back there, and I was in it again. Can you repeat the question? I really forgot what you asked. I'm sorry. I kind of, I was lost in the moment. My mind was, I got brainwashed. That's what happened, and it washed the question that you asked me right out of my brain, so I'm going to need you to repeat it.
Wow, that is some powerful medicine. We were talking about your processes and how you were able to infiltrate these organizations.
Yeah. So we was talking about how we infiltrated them. So yeah, first, we had to study. We was learning in the military, they got something called TTPs. These are tactics, techniques, and procedures. And so we was conducting an intelligence collection operation to see their TTPs and their networking. We established the network to understand who's talking to who's working on what, and we trying to establish some kind of hierarchy to see who's actually in charge. And down there in them Arkansas, there's somebody behind the scenes that we think might be one of the ringleaders, because they call her Mama V. Now, if there was ever a cult leader named Mama V, come on now, the name, says it all. And she's down there at the Possum Run Homestead. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she's one of the, if she ain't, I don't know if she's the top dog, but she definitely a ringleader. And she got the same kind of chickens and everything going on out there. And recently, she hooked up to the electricity. So we know there's something going on there. But again, I said we wasn't really working the Arkansas region. It was our intent to infiltrate the Texas and the Oklahomas. And so we was just studying them to begin to make our models so we could put together the intelligence that we needed in order to infiltrate. And now I'm going to tell you a big, big secret. So we learned from our analysis that they got a secret handshake in the YouTubes. Yes, sir. A secret handshake. Yeah, we're gonna tell you what it is. We're gonna tell you what it is. All them channels, they got stickers. It's like, I mean, people show up for stickers. People be handing out stickers. We got bunches of them when we infiltrated, and we'll tell you about that. But they use them stickers as like a secret handshake. If a YouTuber walks up to you and gives you a sticker, you're supposed to give one back. And if you give one back, that means that you're an insider in the cult. Now, I don't understand how that determines the hierarchy yet, but I'm telling you, if you got the stickers and you're trading them like they some kind of gold or something, like they give you a sticker, you give them a sticker. Yes, sir. That's the secret handshake. And we're gonna show you that as we move forward and we get into the real video contents of what we've been doing. But right now, I'm just gonna give you that little preview and tell you that every one of these secret organizations, they got their secret handshake, and the YouTubes, theirs is the sticker exchange. I forgot again what we was talking about. What the brainwashing is powerful. What, can you repeat the question one more time, please?
This is good stuff. Once again, we were talking about how you were able to infiltrate the organization.
Oh yeah, how we infiltrate. Well, I was getting to that, so I'm working my way up to it. I can't just dump it out there because it wasn't a simple process. So we started working outside the Texas and Oklahoma's regions so that we could again develop our intelligence to learn how to infiltrate the networks within the YouTubes. And so once we discovered the secret handshake was the sticker exchange, then we knew that we had to get some stickers. And so I'm kind of getting ahead of myself now, but before we could even get the stickers, we had to become one of them. So we created a channel and we started creating the contents. Now, we was doing good. We watched all their contents and we started kind of trying to do some of the same stuff, you know. So we started building the homesteads and we started, building stuff and doing things and filming it, carrying our cameras around and filming everything we did. Of course, we didn't like film ourselves going to the bathroom or none of that nonsense because, I mean, that'd just be wrong. And they ain't doing that either, just so you know. There ain't no funny, disgusting business going on. They just doing the brainwashing stuff and everything. So we started filming some contents. And I'll tell you right now, we made some mistakes along the way, and at times we thought it might cost us and cost our ability to infiltrate. So, man, we was creating the contents, and you know, one thing we noticed from watching other people's contents is a lot of times they make mistakes. You know, they be doing something, whether they're building or whatever, and they just don't know what the heck they're doing, because, I mean, these ain't professionals. And so they do stuff wrong sometimes, and they make mistakes. And so we thought, we better do some of that. And so we tried to follow the models that our government puts out there, because we thought, well, everybody's seen that'd be a good thing. So we started kind of acting like the government, and we'd make these mistakes, and we was trying to always blame it on somebody. So whenever we do something wrong, we just say, that old Murphy showed up. And, we thought about when we was developing our TTPs, our tactics, techniques, and procedures, that we thought about what we going to do when we make a mistake, how we going to cover it up the way they cover it up. And we figured the best way was just to blame it on somebody. And we started thinking about, well, who are we going to blame it on? That Trump fella ain't there no more, so what good would that do to blame him? And of course, you can't blame any of them folks in office now, because it don't even mean nothing to them. So we just figured the political blame thing wasn't going to work for us. So we had to figure out, something that people would understand. So that fella Murphy, people heard of him, that he got that Murphy's Law. I mean, I don't know if he's like Johnny Law or how that works, but he's some kind of law, I think. And the Murphy's Law is basically, if it can go wrong, it will. I don't know if he's working with the devil or if he's in the voodoos or what, but man, he could make some things go wrong. So we figured, let's blame old Murphy.
Hey folks, that's all the time we've got left today, but continue to stay with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can join us on our next episode as we continue with the Bubba Files. Y'all take care now, you hear?